Everyone talks about strength. Everyone talks about motivation. Everyone talks about discipline. But that's not why people quit. People quit because they reach a moment, a quiet moment, where continuing feels harder than stopping. No one sees it. No one applauds it. It happens in silence, and in that moment, most people don't fail. They choose relief. But warriors understood something terrifying. Quitting is not an action. It is an identity. And once quitting becomes part of who you are, it repeats forever. Today, you're going to learn the warrior's method for eliminating quitting at the root, not with motivation, but with a permanent shift. This is not about pushing harder. This is about becoming unbreakable. There is always a moment, the moment when progress feels slow, pain feels personal, doubt feels logical. The Spartans called it the thinning, when only a few remain. The samurai called it the long night, when no victory is visible. The knights called it the vigil, when no one is watching. This is where most people quit, not because they can't continue, but because they no longer feel justified continuing. And here is the truth warriors knew. The desire to quit is not weakness. It is biology. The mind is designed to conserve energy, to seek comfort, to avoid prolonged discomfort. So, warriors didn't try to eliminate the urge to quit. They eliminated the option. Modern culture worships willpower, but warriors never trusted it. Why? Because willpower depends on mood, energy, circumstances, and those things change daily. Warriors understood something deeper. If a decision must be made more than once, it will eventually be reversed. So they designed their lives around irreversibility, not motivation, not inspiration, structure. A Spartan didn't ask, "Do I feel like training today?" A samurai didn't ask, "Am I in the mood to practice?" A knight didn't ask, "Is this still worth it?" Those questions didn't exist, because quitting was not a behavior. It was forbidden by identity. Every warrior culture had a version of the same rule. Do not create an exit. Spartans trained in formations where retreat broke the line, and breaking the line meant death. So retreat was not considered. Samurai burned their boats of ego. Knights took vows that erased alternatives, not because they were reckless, but because certainty removes hesitation. Modern people keep escape routes everywhere, backup plans, just-in-case options, quiet permission to quit, and those exits become magnets under pressure. Warriors removed them, not by force, by decision. Here is the most important truth of this video. You do not quit what you believe you are. A person who tries to work out quits. A person who is a runner doesn't. A person who wants discipline quits. A person who is disciplined doesn't. Warriors didn't attach effort to outcomes. They attached effort to identity. They didn't say, "I will endure." They said, "I am one who endures." Once identity locks in, behavior follows automatically. This is why warriors could continue long after motivation died. They weren't pushing themselves. They were being themselves. Warriors didn't believe in perfection. They believed in continuity. The rule was simple. Never stop moving forward, even at 1%. Injured, train breath. Exhausted, train posture. Defeated, train presence. The river may slow, but it never stops. Because stopping resets the identity. And once the identity resets, quitting becomes easier next time. Unbreakable people are not intense. They are consistent. They don't win because they do more. They win because they never fully disengage. Every warrior made a silent agreement with himself. I do not negotiate with weakness. This doesn't mean cruelty. It means clarity. Warriors separated pain from danger, discomfort from harm, fear from truth. They learned that most quitting impulses are not warnings, they are negotiations. And warriors do not negotiate with impulses. They acknowledge them, then continue anyway, not angrily, calmly. There is a day, quiet and unremarkable, when quitting finally dies, not because things get easier, but because stopping feels unnatural. You don't celebrate this day. You barely notice it. You just realize, I didn't consider quitting. This is the moment warriors train for. The moment discipline becomes instinct. The moment effort becomes identity. The moment you are no longer fighting yourself. Here is the warrior's method for eliminating quitting forever. Remove exits. Decide once. Remove alternatives. Lock identity. I am someone who does this. Honor continuity. Even at 1%. Refuse negotiation. Feel the urge. Continue anyway. Protect the streak of self-respect, not perfection. Presence. This system doesn't make you extreme. It makes you inevitable. Most people are not weak. They are undecided. They keep one foot on the path and one foot pointed toward escape. Warriors chose differently. They chose to become someone who does not quit. Not because it's easy, but because quitting no longer makes sense. So ask yourself, will you keep trying? Or will you become someone who no longer considers stopping? Because once you cross that line, you don't need motivation. You don't need willpower. You don't need inspiration. You move forward because that is who you are. This is how warriors become unbreakable. Subscribe to Warrior's Path and continue the journey into discipline, endurance, purpose, and the ancient laws that build unshakable minds. The path is already beneath your feet. All that remains is to walk it.